Emotions and life are inseparable. In the first part of the lecture about emotional intelligence, Professor Madhosh talked about different theories about emotions and emotional makeup of an individual. In the second lecture, he'll be continuing with the same theme, and we hope that you like this one also, like you must have liked the previous one. So over to Professor Madhosh for his lecture on emotional intelligence.
Welcome again to this. I did not complete my assignment with you, a talk on emotional intelligence, and now you will see the things that would now come under discussion. You will be really finding it very interesting that how I can connect emotional life with the actual real life, how we can have a balance between the rational mind and the emotional mind, and then how we can make a proper use of such human elements which otherwise were taken to be very bad. People would earlier say that emotions are bad. You have to control your emotion. You don't express your emotions. But here is an understanding. Here is some education. Here is some theory which says no, expression of emotion is very vital to living, to life, whether it is social, it is individual, or it is academic, or it is industrial, whatever it is, emotions, their expression is okay. But the point is that how much okay in itself is, that is to be seen. I would have a very brief, kind of treatment of Peter Solve's and John Mayer's understanding of emotional intelligence in 4 branches. 1. Perceiving emotions. And once we say perceiving emotion, it is not only apparently understanding the language of emotions, but body language is very important. You are very sad today, you are angry, you are happy, and this happiness, anger, aggression has its deep marks on your body also. So once I say you are not in good mood today, we say your face is so long today. What do we actually communicate to people? Your face is so long, means maybe you are sad. What shocks you? What is the problem? Can I help you? So he says that perceiving emotions. Perceive means give not only understanding emotion but giving an interpretation to it. Maybe that interpretation comes from the person who is having an emotion. How do you deal with that? If you get a friend who is sad today, can you help him? It's not enough to say hello, hi, are you very wonderful today, or are you okay? He says yes, I'm okay, without being okay. The second thing is reasoning with emotions, use of cognitive ability. The second branch he talks about, Soloway talks about, is reasoning with use of cognitive skills. Using cognitive skills while you're trying to understand emotions, give some space to cognitive understanding as well. Cognitive understanding is that deliberately you understand certain things, you recognize things, you memorize things, you recollect things, you evaluate things, you retell things, is cognitive system in our brain. So there is a connection between brain, it is cognitive properties and emotional properties of the same mind. So it is always better that rational self and emotional self are integrated in such a fashion that you have a pleasant way of action. And the third one is understanding emotions in itself. Each emotion is to be understood that way. You see, earlier there was a theory given by James Lange theory, is generally properly known, James Lange theory of emotions, in which we found that stirred up condition of mind or stirred up condition of body is really putting you in a trouble when you find some emotion. So understanding was, is it that because under certain physical pressures you are expressing your emotional life, or as a matter of learning, as a matter of education, you are expressing or communicating some emotions. Sometimes you use that way your emotion as a tool of expression. You can be emotional without having an emotion, because you don't have any emotion but you act like having that emotion, which generally does not put you on track of right behaving are desirable behaving as such. So understanding emotions from that point of view, what is it that emotion is generated? Body or your mind are both put together. So understanding goes to that extent, that understand it, while understanding, understand it deeply. And then fourth is managing emotions. Now here I'll talk about two things. One is ability of managing your own emotions and ability of managing the emotions of others. Once we talk of ability of managing my own emotions, is really how there are certain things in me, I would like to do them first. I just start prioritizing emotions. Suppose you just consider a situation in which some kind of benefit is to be given to people. Amongst those persons, you are also included. Generally, what is seen is that people would go follow in queues and for that benefit to get. But sometimes you will feel inside that let another person, here Ajaz is sitting with me, if I need a cup of tea now, cup of tea comes to me, but I find that his feeling is as well as good, as desirable as mine. I will say, Ajaz, why don't you have this cup of tea? And you see, while doing so, I am creating an atmosphere in Ajaz's mind itself, which is atmosphere of acceptability, desirability, love, and affection. Even if he doesn't need this cup of tea, that was my need, my understanding of my emotion. But he said that it's okay. I am so comfortable with you, sir. I am comfortable with you. And his saying that I am comfortable with you is really he's actually dispensing love or action of love to the kind of action I took. But on the contrary, if I just start kicking people around, reaching the goal myself, and taking all benefits first, then of course you will see what type of emotion he is dispensing. The postponement of your own desires, of understandings, of getting a goal immediately, that postponement in itself is an act of utilizing emotion properly. You postpone your desire. You wait for others. That's how you manage your own emotions. Second is managing emotions of others. That is, if you are a group leader, the best leader's quality is that he is able to manage the crisis within the organization. Crisis management is not possible because there is a person who is sitting on the chair as a chairman, as a boss, but is very strict, is very hard, therefore crisis management can be resolved. No, not at all. The best leadership quality is one who connects himself with his colleagues, with the organization, understanding them, giving some space to their ideas, including their in decision-making activities, and share with them the benefits, profits of the industry or the goods or the products he's making. And therefore, sometimes I have seen and heard people saying, sir, I personally do not work for that I am getting some work done for you, sir. This work I am doing for you alone, sir. When he says I am doing this job for you alone, sir, means he is first connecting himself with the boss or with the leader, and the product is there, and the quality of product goes high and high. Why? Because the leader was trained that way. Maybe he was gifted by God that way, that he has an aura, he has a sort of a glow around the personality, that people get completely attracted to him because of his behavior. And that behavior, I say, there is not only execution of an act as such, behavior that is emotional behavior. How he deals with his own emotions, how he manages the emotions of others. You will not find a crisis situation. And this must be in your notice and your experience also, that many a times we find in a very small school situation where a child is shifted from one teacher to another teacher, the teacher starts, child starts crying. Because the separation from home and the child, that separation protest was there because he was first separated from mother. Now once he was sent to the school, He got attached to another teacher there, who again was a madam, and that the love and the connection was so strong that whatever he did for the madam aside. And then you shifted him from that teacher to another teacher, and there is a cry. Oh, why was he is crying? Why? Because I want that madam again with whom I was connected. So what was important? Now many a times we have found even performance curve goes down. Of this child performance curve goes down. Therefore there is a protest. Bring that madam back, or at least shift that madam to that class. Now I have been shifted to. You go to some industrial situation. Here again, if you find there's a leader of love, a leader who is very attractive that way, a leader who has a direct human magnetism in which people get attracted to him. Once he is shifted, once he is transferred, you have a huge crisis in the management system. The whole thing falls. Their quality in product falls, their performance level falls, their even momentary attention to different types of products which otherwise they would give, that falls down. Not only that, some of the people who are more nearer to the leader, they lose even their own physical health. So that is how I'm talking, because these people are either they know, because God has made them that way, how to treat people and how to treat desired functions, or else they are trained to have it. And these days the trend is they are being trained. I have personally heard Goldman, and I would suggest my viewers that please go and see Goldman's contribution to emotional intelligence. You can have websites available, you can have internet available, you can have all other facilities, even multimedia facilities available on Goldman itself. Hear him for half an hour, and you will find that how things go so far as they throughout world. Universally, people are getting trained in emotion. Today, I personally feel. The earlier I was feeling perhaps this can be applied as an applicable concept to industrial situation or management situation only. But today I feel, and I am 100% sure, that it would work in a better way, more comprehensively, and more strongly in a school situation, college situation, university situation. Right from university, because you belong to different departments in the universities, higher education, I'll tell you, even most serious, academic activities that are research activity. People who are getting, research degrees are getting connected with supervisors. Here we find, if you relate your emotions with the type of work people are doing, you will find that your scholars will do well. In a classroom in higher education, it's not, they would say, Dr. Madhosh, what are you talking? There are 90 students in my class, and you are talking of extension of love to 90 people. How is it possible? How can connect yourself with the 90 people in the class? I found no, it's no problem. It's not that you have to have kind of water tap arrangement, so extension of love through water taps to people. No, it's not that way. The way is how you are actually treating the students who are with you on the grounds that you are conscious of the weaknesses of students, you are conscious about the strengths of students, and you have the acceptability of students as they are. As a teacher, if I accept my student because he is bad, because he is good, I accept him. And once you communicate this acceptance to the students lot, you get connected with the class. So it's not only your professional excellence that keeps you charged strongly in a classroom as such, but it is how you behave with people. For you, again, as I said earlier, they will do work for you. I said to some of my students in the class, I said, there's a novel, and this has come very recently in the market, and although it was published much earlier, that was Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. So I said that you read this novel. A student says, sir, for you I will read it, and give me 2 nights only. And I tell you that yes, it did. She did read it for 2 nights. After 2 nights, she came to me and discussed the theme. of the noun. It was wonderful because now this actually remained outside the field of her specialization or excellence. But she knew how even these things add to the excellence of mind. Finally, you have to be fully functional. And when I say fully functional, means fully functional and it is tests your immediate society. I am functionally very effective in society. Personally, I am happy because I have been given a chance, an opportunity to understand myself, to realize myself. One. Second, that since I am personally happy, being personally happy, my production is good, it is quality is worthwhile, therefore I am socially effective also. So putting all these things together, happiness, that is your happiness, and quality considerations of your action or your products. Third, that you get connected with the society, you become fully functional. And that too, psychologically speaking, is the optimum development of the individual. You cannot neglect, you cannot avoid, you cannot escape your emotional life. Put it, bring it into action. You'll find you will be fully, optimally functioning. And only one side would not go with, and rationality would not go. Rationality is there. Connect that rationality with emotions and see that emotional intelligence would work. I would also like to talk. See, if I said it can be assessed, yes, as we did have some intelligence skills in which assessment takes place of you have the idea of the IQ, or if you would like to understand the nature of height, like for instance, so far as the IQ testing measures are concerned, they are not direct, they are indirect. Like for instance, you have height, you have weight, there is a weighing scale, I can understand and I can weigh you, I can assess how much do you weigh. And I can also understand and weigh your size, how tall are you, how short are you, because there are direct measures. For understanding intelligence, we don't have any direct measures. I don't have any inch tape to see how intelligent you are. So what we do, indirect measures are there. We sample behavior of people in which connectivity between excellence, performance is connected. Those behavior are sampled for each age group, and you have a skill. So starting with alpha Binet scales, right from 1904 onwards, we have scales of intelligence. But so far as emotional intelligence is concerned, the history of scaling or assessment of such scales is of late time. We have one first of a scale that was given to the world was by Reuven on, that was on EQ, emotional quotient. So you have IQ is intelligence quotient, emotional quotient is EQ. That was first scale of assessment that was given. The second was multifactor emotional intelligence scale. This was based on Harvard's. I have talked about him. Harvard's understanding of the concept of emotional intelligence. The third scale that was given university people was Seligman's attributional style questionnaire. That is Seligman's attributional style questionnaire, which was actually a questionnaire which would consist of personality traits plus IQ traits, intelligence traits and personality traits put together, that could give you a skill that is there. Then there was emotional competence scale. It is known to people. In India, also number of scales were constructed, right from 95 onwards till date. In our own society, in my own land here, Kashmir, I developed a skill that is Dr. AGM's emotional intelligence skill. That again gives you an idea of assessing emotional intelligence of people. Since this skill has been adopted and now I do find a lot of data to standardize this skill and find it works well. Now the question is, how can then we relate emotional intelligence to other dimensions of life? The first come first is, of course, where from we start life in itself. from home onwards, people are sent to the schools. So, is there any kind of integration, connection, relation of emotional intelligence concepts and academic performance? Answer is yes. So, our teachers need a training, special training programs. I would see, even I have seen national curriculum framework, and in which most important things have been cited, in which love, child-centeredness, then understanding of people are the topmost priorities. But how those things can be integrated with the curricular practices is that you train your teachers throughout India, train them on the basic principles of emotional intelligence, where our teachers who are in charge as caretakers of small children's lives and their academics as such, there's very small beginning, there we started. And right from that thing onwards, as I talk to you, to the highest levels of understanding in educational situations, emotional intelligence cannot be ignored. Then the other dimension and the area is that of your society around, social scenario. Here again connectivities. Here again make use of. That is, how can your work make others feel happy, or at least tolerant? Not happy to the full extent, but at least they can tolerate others. And then through society, what is your view? How do you critically appreciate your belief system? See, sometimes you go so much deep into your belief systems, so get emotionally involved in certain things that you cannot understand properly how to act or even react. So we shall have to understand our belief system. And that belief system, a rational, calm emotional treatment, in which if you feel that you can change on certain moment, on certain occasion, yes, of course. If that is for constructive change in you and the people around you, okay, this is good. That I would say that here is a person who is really and truly empowered. The empowerment of people and individuals and groups would mean really that they are capable of appraising critically their own belief or faith system. And once you do that, you either become conventional, no harm, no objection, or you become modifiers. You will accept certain beliefs, certain norms, certain standards after modification, no problem. You can just show the way or the path. Or third, revolutionary. You can revolutionize the whole thing and build up your own. Again, there is no problem. All these three modes of behavior are emotionally based. Whether you become conventional, happy, no friction, no problem. Or you become, modifier, again no problem, because you give a new essence to life, new meaning to life. Or else revolutionary. You don't agree with what is there, therefore you give a new system. People will see whether that new system has any strength in it. Okay, if it has, acceptable. Not, then not acceptable. And this is what I could give you in this very small kind of time I was allowed to talk to you. I am very happy personally that feel, yes, there are lots of people hearing me. I hope that there must be some mistakes conducted here and there, and for that I should be forgiven.
So that was it, all about emotions and how to control them so that you are not tossed from one extreme to another. After all, there's a lot of intelligence that's involved in controlling your emotions, lest you become more impulsive and more tempestuous. It is all the question of controlling your behavior to become better, more genial human beings. Thank you very much.